Hi, I'm Mark, this is Mark's Tech Vlogs on YouTube, and today I'm going to bring you guys a review of the Aqara H1 EU Smart Wall Switch. Trying to find smart light switches if you live in the UK is pretty tough, because a lot of them do require a neutral wire, and most of our lighting doesn't have a neutral wire. Now, I have previously reviewed the Aqara H2, which is also a great smart switch with some extra features built in. However, what I really wanted was a black one, and they don't do a H2 in black. That meant I picked up the H1 myself. And the big thing with this one is that it doesn't require a neutral wire. That means it's going to be suitable for most UK switches. However, if you do want to find out about the features of the H2 switch, I will put a link below to my review of that. For now, however, let's start off the H1 review and talk about price. So this retails at a price of £32. And when you buy it, there's 4 options. You can get it in white or black, and also in single and double rocker. Now, none of these require a neutral wire, which I feel like I've said about 3 times already, but this is great for UK users. Moving on to the design, it's pretty simple, but it is a nice modern design. And I do especially like the black one. The button takes over the whole body, which is fantastic for easily clicking it, and it's a super clicky button that doesn't require too much pressure to turn on or off. One thing worth noting is that for the most part, these kind of switches do not work with smart bulbs. This is pretty common for smart light switches, and I believe this is because of the voltage coming from your ceiling rows. Of course, if you've got a smart light bulb and it's set to 0, there's going to be no power coming from that to power your switch. This does, however, lead us nicely onto spec. Now, this switch is Zigbee compatible, which means you are going to need to pair it with some kind of hub. If you've got Home Assistant and a Zigbee dongle that goes with that, you can pair it straight into that, but for the most part, you're going to want something like an Aqara Hub. I already had the Aqara M3 hub, so I could just pair it to that, but their hubs start at as little as £20, and I will link that cheap one below. Now, as with most Zigbee devices these days, it does use Zigbee 3, and that helps keep the signal nice and stable. And in using it for the last couple of months, I found that it hasn't gone offline at all. When using it with an Aqara Hub, you can use it with a wide variety of third-party services. That includes Apple Home, Google Home, and Amazon Alexa, and of course you can get it into Home Assistant by pairing your Aqara Matter Hub into that. It also has advanced overload protection built in. This is great as an extra safety step, and it's also compatible with two-way switches. So let's get on to installation. Now, this light switch is a little thicker than your average light switch, so depending on the depth of your back box, you might also need to buy a spacer. I'll link below the one that I picked up. These are only a few quid, so it's not a huge thing to factor in. Before you install the switch, you're going to want to remove the faceplate off of it. That's so you can get to the area where it all screws on. You then want to make sure the power is off. Then you can just remove your existing light switch and switch the wires around into the new Aqara one. Now, I always recommend taking photos or videos of existing wiring so you know exactly what's come out of where. You then attach it back to the wall. Now, much like the H2 switch, these are slightly quirky to install. And I actually found the best way to get this installed was to add the screws into the back box without attaching the switch. You then want to tighten them so they're level with the edge of the back box, and then you can just slide the fitting over the top. You can then tighten them a little bit if you need to, put the faceplate back on, and then turn back on your power. Of course, if you don't know what you're doing with electrics and you're not confident doing it, you might want to get someone professional to install it for you. It's a pretty simple job, but I know it's not for everyone. The next step is to head into the Aqara app. Here you're going to hit the plus at the top and find the device from the list. That will then talk you through putting it into pairing mode. As part of that, you're going to bind it to an Aqara Hub. Now, if your Aqara Hub is already paired with something like Apple Home like mine was, then the device will just appear in Apple Home. In my opinion, the best way to find these things when they're attached to a hub in Apple Home is to go into Apple Home, click the 3 dots in the top and go into Home Settings. Then find Home Hubs and Bridges, and then find a particular hub we're talking about. You'll then see all the devices linked to that hub. You can then easily assign it to a room and give it a name in Apple Home as well. One thing to note, and I always forget this with smart light switches, is that if you try and use it with a smart bulb, it won't work. So I originally left my Philips Hue bulb in my bedroom light fitting, and it was fine when the light was on, but as soon as I turned the light off, the switch lost all power. There's also a few settings in the Aqara app you might want to tweak. So you can turn on power off memory. That means if there's a power cut, it will remember the state that it was last in when power comes back on. Now, we had a power cut, I've tested this, and it works. If you want to, you can also turn off the small indicator light on it. It's not a particularly bright light, and it's a nice dull blue, but it's up to you whether you want that off or not. There's also the option to decouple the switch as well. That means pressing it won't actually cut off power to your light. You can then configure automations for what happens when that button is pressed. So let's talk about what it's like to use, because that's what I've been doing the last couple of months. And generally speaking, it works really well. And one of the best things about it is that you can actually just use it like a light switch. However, alongside that, you can tie it into automations, and this is where it creates a really nice hybrid. Because sometimes it's easier when you go into a room just to hit the switch, rather than having to ask your voice assistant to turn it on. Now for a lot of my rooms I actually use presence sensors, but it's not something I want in the bedroom because I don't want it to come on when I'm present and asleep. Of course, having a physical button is also great for less tech savvy family members. One of the things I really like is that because the whole thing is a button, it's really easy to hit. So if you go into a room and you've got a basket full of washing, you can easily just elbow it. However, because it's smart, you can also tie it into automations. So that's what I've done. So as part of my lights off automation, that means I can easily turn off all of the lights in my house. It's part of an automation that turns on all of the lights if the fire alarm goes off. And then of course, I can still ask Siri to turn it on and off. And in using this for a couple of months, it works really well and it responds really quickly. And of course, if you don't use it in a decoupled mode, turning on the light is instant because it is just a light switch. But are there any downsides? And in all honesty, other than it being a little bit quirky to actually fit when it comes to getting those screws lined up, there aren't any downsides. It's pretty affordable, it looks good, and it's super reliable. And it gives you a great blend between having a smart light switch, but also a light switch you can still use, whereas most smart bulbs are always kind of on. If you do want to pick one up, I'll put a link below. That's an affiliate link that will go to Amazon in whichever country you're in. It won't cost you any more to use that link, but it will help this channel out. If you use that link, thank you very much. If you've got any questions, stick them below and I'll answer those for you. If you've enjoyed this video, give it a like, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys again soon.